for lesson 32 today, we will be graphing, but first we have to solve for y. So it's really putting everything that we've done together in one problem. So to save a little bit of time, what I did, and make it a little neater, I have my answer key up here. So hopefully we can go through this a little bit quicker on the video, and then hopefully you can see the problems better. So let me try to get this down here. Here's our problem for 1a. 3y minus 3x equals 15. So now what I did was I rewrote the problem here, and then I solved for y. So what I did was get my pen going here. I added 3x on both sides, and then I divided by 3. And when I got y by itself, this is what I got. Now you can see it's not really y equals mx plus b form. It is, but it's not. So if I put it in y equals mx plus b, this is the slope right here, the number in front of the x. So it would be 1 over 1x plus 5. So we know 5 is the y-intercept, and 1 over 1 is the slope. Up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. So when I graphed, here's my y-intercept. I started at 5, and then, let's change this color. From here, I went up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. You could keep going if you wanted, and you could go down and to the left, because when you divide by two negatives, it makes positive. And then I labeled it. And down here on the bottom, I said my y-intercept was 5. Remember, that's your b. And my slope was 1. Now, what I did was I had solved for y on top. And remember, I got y equals 5 plus 1x. And to put it in y equals mx plus b form, I just switched the order. And that's what I got. What you should do right now is pause the video, try to do letter B, and then after you try, or if you get stuck, come back and check, and I will go over letter B. So for B, we have 6x plus 2y equals negative 8. The x and the y are on the same side of the equal sign, so first thing I moved the x over. I subtracted 6x from both sides. I copied this. Now, if you struggle, you could also do this. That's what we have been practicing in our 5-minute quizzes a lot. But because of this, if you wrote it in this form, you would need to use your y equals on your graphing calculator. So what I did was I did y equals negative 4, and then I divided these minus 3x. I'm trying to write that. This is perfectly fine. But to get it in y equals mx plus b form, I put the x term first. Negative 4 is my y-intercept. My slope is down 3, right 1. So here I started at negative 4, and then I went down 3, right 1. I ran out of room, and I really wanted to have 3 points, so then I did the opposite, up and to the left. And then taking from my problems up top, my y-intercept is negative 4. For slope, you can say negative 3, or you can say negative 3 over 1. That part doesn't matter. So page 32 is just more practice. The one difference is we've got some funny negatives. So here's letter C. It's negative 3 times y equals negative 1x plus 6. So what I did was I just divided each term by negative 3. When you divide two negatives, you get a positive. So I got 1/3 x, or 1/3 times x, minus 2. Negative 2 is my y-intercept, and then up 1 over 3 is my slope. So when I graphed, slowly, here's my y-intercept. I started at negative 2. I went up 1 over 3, put a point, up 1 over 3, put another point. And then moving down to fill out the rest, my y-intercept is negative 2, and my slope is 1/3. Take note, it's not 1/3 x, the slope is just a number. Last one for our notes, Negative y, there's really a negative 1 here. So to get the y by itself, you divide everything by negative 1. When you multiply or divide by a negative, you're just changing the sign. So this negative 1/2 x becomes a positive. This 4 becomes a minus 4. So our y-intercept is negative 4. Our slope is now up 1, right 2. So I start at negative 4, and I go up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. You could stop right there, but I just kept putting dots. That's fine. You can fill your whole graph in with points as long as they follow the same pattern. And my y-intercept, as we said before, was negative 4, and my slope was up 1, right 2. So for homework, you guys are going to work on pages 33 and 34.